Hello students, welcome back to this new session. In this session, I am deriving Cauchy's integral formula. Now let's see what it is and let us derive this step by step. Okay, it's very important. It may appear in the question paper. So take a pen and a paper and start writing step by step each and every point of it. Okay, so let us understand this first. Cauchy's integral formula. If f of z is analytic inside and on the closed curve C, and if a is any point within the curve C, then the value of the function f of z at the point A, that is f of A, is equal to 1 by 2 pi I integration over the curve C f of z divided by z minus A dz. Okay, so what do you mean by this statement? I'll just draw a figure and show you what it is. See here, we have a curve. Say this is the curve C on the xy plane, and our f of z, it is defined and it is analytic inside the curve C and on the boundary of the curve C. Okay, what is our f of z? F of z is already defined and it is analytic on the boundary and also at each and every point inside the closed curve C. And there is a point A. This is the point A. Say this is the point A. Okay, there is a point A inside the closed curve C, and if I want to find the value of the function at the point A, that is f of A, it will be given by 1 by 2 pi I integration over the closed curve C f of z divided by z minus A dz. This is Cauchy's integral formula. This will be deriving. Okay, so to derive this proof, let us consider a small circle enclosing this point A. Okay, I'll construct a small circle. Okay, look at this. A small circle with A as a center and R as the radius. I'll call this circle as C1. I'll call this circle as C1. Okay, since A lies within C, consider a circle with A as the center and R as the radius. Okay, this circle I am going to call, say, C1. Okay, now you see the circle C1, the curve C1 is lying within C. Okay, now one point I want to speak about. Okay, now see, let us consider the function, or I will speak about the thing which is written inside the integral sign. What is that? It is f of z divided by z minus A. Now let us see how this f of z divided by z minus A is behaving. Look at the point z minus A in the denominator. If I put z is equal to A, the denominator turns 0. So you do not have a defined value for that, is it not? Means this particular term f of z divided by z minus A does not exist at the point x is equal to A. What about the points other than A? Is it not defined at all the points other than A? Now see, all the points on the boundary of C, on the boundary of C1, and all the points in the annular region C1. Yes, this part, this function I can call, this function is analytic. Yes or no? Except the point z is equal to A. Yes or no? Right. So the same thing I am going to say, right? Since the function f of z divided by z minus A is analytic, because f of z is analytic at every point. Yes or no? Right? But if I consider f of z divided by z minus A, that is not analytic at the point z is equal to A. But it is analytic at other points. Yes or no? Just see that is analytic at okay, I'll not say at, is analytic inside and on the boundary of the annular region between C1 and C. Yes or no? Is there not an annular region between C1 and C? Yes, and your f of z divided by z minus a is also analytic in that annular region and on the boundary. So therefore I can use one of the consequences of the Cauchy's theorem and work for my further part. I hope you remember the second consequence of the Cauchy's theorem. That same can be applied here. What is it? If I just repeat it and I'll just given a short corner so that I can directly use it here. See, there are two curves. One is lying inside totally the other curve. Say this is C1, this is C2. C2 is lying totally inside C1. Okay. And the function f of z is defined and it is analytic inside this annular region and also on the boundary of the two curves. Then integration along C1 f of z dz is also always equal to integration along C2 f of z dz. This we have a consequence and a small part of discussion we have done already in my previous session. So directly I am going to use it here. Here also I have got one annular region and the two curves where one curve that is C1 is lying totally inside the other curve. So I can directly make use of that here, okay, for this function, not for f of z, for this function, because this function is analytic in the annular region and on the boundary of that curve C and C1, okay. So let's make use of it. So therefore, by using the consequence of Cauchy's theorem, we can write what we can write. I hope you can understand what we can write now. Integration along the curve C, f of z, for this function we have to write, not for f of z. F of z divided by z minus a in a whole we have to consider. Okay, this it will be equal to integration along C1 f of z divided by z minus a dz. Half part is done here. Now rest half is very simple and very easy, okay. And also it's very simple also. See, now we know that integration along the curve C f of z divided by z minus a dz is equal to this part, okay. But what is my C1? It is the circle that we have already constructed and we know everything about that circle. About the curve C, it's an unknown curve for you, but you know that it is a simple closed curve, okay. But about C1 you yourself you have constructed it and you know it is very well a circle. And a circle, yes, how can you write a circle? By using distance formula or mod, I mean, what do you mean by, yes, you can write it here. Since C1 is a circle, how can you write circle? Mod of, that is the distance between any point on the boundary of C1, z minus a is equal to r, because r is a constant distance from the center to the point on the circumference. Okay, so mod of z minus a is equal to r. In polar form, in complex variables, how will you represent this circle? You can refer my first session. For this entire M4 I had given one first session, polar way of representing circles. I think it is there, you just go for it. If it is not there, please let me know, okay, in my WhatsApp group. I'll just give you a hint, okay. But anyway, I'm giving here also. See, this is the circle, equation of a circle, okay. It can be written in polar form like this: z minus a is equal to r into e to the power I theta. You just have to accompany e to the power I theta over here. The same equation, removing that mod, okay. This represents once again an equation of a circle in polar form, or z is equal to a plus r into e to the power I theta. Done. Yes, now I have got the value for z minus a, that is the denominator, it is r into e to power I theta. I have got z as well. Now I want a dz, okay. So what is dz? Because I am representing everything in terms of polar coordinates. So let us represent dz also in terms of polar coordinates. And anyway, here r is constant, it's a constant radius of the circle. So dz is equal to, derivative of a is 0, derivative of r into e to power I theta is r as it is because it is constant. I e to the power I theta d theta you will get. Okay, now since how is d theta, you should also see about the variation for theta along the curve C1. C1 is a circle. On any circle, variation for theta, that is the angle, will be from 0 to 2 pi, is it not? So I can directly state theta is varying from 0 less than or equal to theta less than or equal to 2 pi. So this is the variation for theta, this is my dz, this is my z, all this I'll substitute in this equation. So what do I get? Therefore, integration of the curve C, f of z divided by z minus a dz will be equal to integration theta varying from 0 to 2 pi, because along the curve C1 we know theta is varying from 0 to 2 pi. Okay, because you are taking the integration throughout the curve C1, okay, not a part of it. Okay, so it will be theta varying from 0 to 2 pi. F of z, z value you have to substitute it as a plus r into e to the power I theta. So let us make a separate part here, okay, that is different. E to power I theta. Then what is the value for dz? It is r into I e to the power I theta d theta divided by, what is z minus a? It is r into e to the power I theta. I hope this is clear to everyone. Okay, and just one simple step you have to do. Okay, all it comes here. The main key point here is the consequence of a Cauchy's theorem and construction of the circle. The main part starts with the construction of a circle, and then once you construct the circle you get an annular ring. Okay, once you get the annular ring you have to speak about not f of z but this integral. Okay, consider this complete part which is inside the integral f of z divided by z minus a. So definitely that will be analytic in the annular region and on the boundary of that two curves. Okay, so therefore you have to speak regarding with that only. Now you have to use your consequence of Cauchy's theorem, that by that you can easily write it. Now you know about this C1. The next part, very important part, is remembering this equation. In polar form, how do you represent the equation of a circle? That if you remember, then all this will follow to you. Okay, so now this and this will get cancelled, this and this will also get cancelled. This I, you can take it outside. Okay, integration theta going from 0 to 2 pi f of a plus r into e to the power I theta d theta. Keep it as it is. Now if I make, I'll write it here, if r tends to 0, if r tends to 0, that is we are considering a very small circle enclosing the point A. I hope it is clear to you. You can imagine a point circle also. Theta tending to 0 means, I hope you can understand. So you have to consider a very smallest possible circle that can enclose the point A, so that this part of your f of a plus r into e to the power I theta has no significance, means it turns to 0. If r is tending to 0, what will happen to this? It will be I integration theta going from 0 to 2 pi f of a. This has no significance, so I am going to remove it. So you will have it something like this. Then later this will be equal to, f of a is anyway constant, write it outside, I into f of a integration theta going from 0 to 2 pi d theta. Okay, what is integration of theta d theta with respect to theta? Obviously it's 1, sorry, integration of 1 with respect to theta, I into f of a as it is. So it is theta going from 0 to 2 pi. Okay, or the final answer, I shall write it here. I hope you have, I do not have enough space. I'll just continue it here. Just please make a note. So it will be I into f of a into 2 pi minus 0. So 2 pi. Okay, so the final answer, I'll write it here. Just see. 1 minute. The final answer, integration over the curve C, f of z divided by z minus a dz is equal to, we got it as 2 pi I into f of a. You just have to separate your f of a from here, which will be 1 over 2 pi I integration of the curve C f of z divided by z minus a dz. This completes the derivation for Cauchy's integral formula. Okay, practice this. It's very easy and very simple. You just have to remember certain key points. You can easily get it done, okay, in finals exams as well. Okay, so continue in my next session with the generalized Cauchy's integral formula, and then we'll move on to the problems on this. Okay, till then, thank you.